What is up, Patriots? Welcome back to the channel. I am fired up about the clip we're about to watch. This is Dr. Ben Carson's appearance on The View. And let me tell you, you've got a panel of very aggressive hosts, especially Joy and Whoopi, trying to pin him down on issues like the war on women and Obamacare. But Dr. Carson keeps coming back to his core convictions, the importance of life and the dangers of government dependency. He speaks from the perspective of a world-class neurosurgeon who spent his life protecting babies, not a career opportunist. The panel tries to derail him with emotional appeals and gotcha questions, but he just hits them with common sense and clear constitutional thinking. Watch how he handles the heat. It's pure gold, and let me know in the comments right now. What is your favorite quote from Dr. Ben Carson? Let's roll the tape.
One of the other quotes that we've sort of gotten from the research is that you sort of feel that there is not actually a war on women, but there may be a war on what's inside of women. Is that accurate?
Yeah, the babies. I mean, we're killing babies all over the place. And, you know, we should be, I think people can probably understand. In my case, I spent my entire career trying to preserve life and give people quality of life, even operating on babies in the womb, operating all night long sometimes on premature babies. And I get to meet those people, you know, when they're adults and productive adults. There is no way you can convince me that they're not important, that they're just a mass of cells and that you can do anything to them.
I want to ask you this. Have you met with the women who have to make these horrendous decisions when they have to make them of whether or not they can bring a child into the world? I mean, we talk about bringing children into the world all the time, but periodically, some women feel, I just can't. And are you empathetic to them? Because we just had
empathetic.
Oh, good. Go ahead, sorry. Go
Very
ahead.
empathetic, and what I have said is that this is a job for us in the private sector. What we need to do is make sure that we provide adequate daycare centers for these mothers so that they can get their GED, their associate's degree, their bachelor's degree, their master's degree.
You're assuming that these are mothers who aren't educated. I mean, I'm talking about women who make that.
Of them.
I don't know that you can.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you a fact. Let me tell you a fact. The fact is, a lot of those young girls who are having babies out of wedlock, when they have that first baby, they stop their education. And that child is 4 times as likely to grow up in poverty. We as a society have an obligation to do what's necessary to stop that cycle from occurring.
So how important is birth control then to the Republican Party? They should be out there really applauding Planned Parenthood for supplying birth control, mammograms, and everything else. Why are they against Planned Parenthood? Are you against birth control, too?
I don't speak for the Republican Party. I speak for me.
Okay, for yourself. Are you against birth control also?
No, I'm not.
Okay. All right. And so I guess you believe in daycare centers and maternity leave and food stamps and all the things that go along with raising a kid if you don't have the money.
Here's what I believe in, because I get sick and tired of people, particularly progressives, saying Carson grew up poor. He must have benefited from government programs, and now he wants to withdraw all the programs from poor people.
We did not assume
Wait a minute. I've heard that so many times. You've heard it too. It's a bunch of crap. And what I really actually want to do is provide people with a mechanism for coming out of a state of dependency and climbing the ladder and becoming part of the fabric of America.
This is a great thing.
We agree with that.
Yes, but I think my question. Actually, I'm going to let everybody else ask their questions. I don't
it takes me to Obamacare, because you said it's the worst thing that has happened in this nation since slavery. How is it slavery and over 9 million people have it?
Let me tell you why.
Why?
Because this is supposed to be a country that is of, for, and by the people. The government is supposed to be there to facilitate life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. With this particular act, the government comes along and says, don't care what you people think. This is what we're doing. We're cramming it down your throat, and if you don't like it, too bad.
Getting into the war.
That essentially shifts.
Because we did that. We've done that. That seems to be the way of the nation.
But it shifts the relationship between the people and the government. The people are supposed to be at the pinnacle. The government works for us. It's not the other way around. And we need to restore that.
Okay.
That's very important.
All right. Are we done?
Anybody else?
I just wanted to ask one last thing. I mean, you said that you don't necessarily relate to the Republicans, and you don't really say you're a Democrat either. So why do you feel this way?
I said I don't speak for the Republicans. I didn't say I didn't relate to them.
Yeah.
It's a very different thing.
Is there anything about the Republicans that you don't relate to?
Well, I am not a highly partisan person. The issues that affect us are imminent financial collapse if we don't change our ways.
Forgive me, Dr. Ben.
You know,
Forgive me.
they're not Republican or Democrat issues.
Dr. Ben Carson, y'all.
Wow, did you see that? Every single time the host tried to throw him off balance, Dr. Carson just kept coming back to his central philosophy. First, let's talk about his background. When Whoopi is questioning him on the sanctity of life, he isn't speaking from a political talking point. He's speaking as a surgeon who literally operated on children in the womb. He says he gets to meet those productive adults he saved. That is an unshakable moral ground. When he says he spent his career trying to preserve life, that's not something you can argue against. That's a deep personal and professional commitment. The whole war on women narrative immediately loses its footing when you realize his core concern is simply protecting the most vulnerable among us. Then, the conversation shifts to social programs and the cycle of poverty. Whoopi and Joy tried to trap him by saying he was assuming poor mothers are uneducated. But Dr. Carson handled that perfectly. He wasn't insulting anyone. He was stating a fact about the cycle of poverty. He said many young girls stop their education when they have a baby, and that child is 4 times as likely to grow up in poverty. That's not judgment. That's data. And his solution? Not bigger government handouts that create dependency, but private sector resources like daycare and education to help people climb the ladder and become independent. That is the true conservative heart, providing opportunity, not perpetual dependence. He says he wants to stop the cycle, and that's exactly what programs focusing on education and self-sufficiency do. Finally, the Obamacare slavery comment. Of course, Joy Behar tried to make it sound like he was equating the suffering, but he immediately clarified. He was talking about the relationship between the people and the government. He said the government is supposed to be for us, and when they cram massive legislation like the ACA down our throats without the consent of the governed, it fundamentally flips the script. It shifts us from being the masters to being the servants. That's a constitutional argument about freedom and liberty, and it's a powerful one. He's saying, we are the pinnacle, the government works for us. That is what this country is supposed to be about, and he nailed that principle. Dr. Carson is a breath of fresh air because he simply refuses to play the partisan game. He focuses on fundamental, moral, and economic issues that affect all Americans. He's asking us to focus on what matters most, saving lives and restoring true self-determination. What did you think of the way he kept his composure? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.